Okay, so before I get started with this weather update, I just want to show you some of the amazing, beautiful cloud formations today. This was in the early afternoon in Mineola. The clouds were already billowing like beautiful. We had beautiful cumulus congestus and some cumulonimbus clouds eventually later. As you can see, that's a cumulonimbus cloud later on in the around 4:30 in Hicksville there. A beautiful cumulonimbus cloud. That went to the north. That was a pretty intense storm, actually. That was over the Sound, but it never really made it onto Long Island. And there was another, leftover anvil there in the sky there. Beautiful, just amazing cloud formations today. It's not that common that you see cloud formations like this here. I'm sure if you live in Florida, it's more common. And then we had a dark cloud over toward Hicksville there around 6:30. A dark cloud. It was another thunder shower actually. That was a pretty heavy shower actually. It wasn't a whole lot of lightning, but you could see. Look at how heavy the rain was coming down there. I was just looking to the west of Hicksville around 6:30, and when I got on the train, it did wind up pouring when we hit Westbury and a call place into Mineola as well. And then the storm moved away to the east and left us with this beautiful, just a beautiful. What a beautiful cloud that is. A beautiful cumulonimbus cloud. Again, you live in Florida, this is what you see, but it's not that common here to see it. And, of course, a beautiful rainbow as well. Just an incredible rainbow there. Very bright rainbow there looking off to the southeast as the storm and the showers moved away. And just incredible cloud formation. So I hope you got a chance to really enjoy the beauty that the sky put on today, although it was extremely humid and uncomfortable, and one of those days where you get home, you got to take another shower because it's so sticky and humid like Florida. But very beautiful events in the sky today, rainbows and beautiful clouds all over the place. And another thing is that storm wound up developing a mammatus cloud in the upper part. That's a mammatus cloud there, you see. It hangs down like that. So that indicates the storm was actually wound up getting pretty intense. When usually you see that, it means the storm is strong or severe. And sometimes they accompany tornadoes too. And just incredible cloud formations. Incredible. Again, this is looking around this is more towards 7 o'clock this evening. And there was some flooding from the rain. It probably got a good amount of rain in a very short amount of time. You could see there some SUVs driving kind of recklessly in Mineola through the flooded roadways there, splashing things along. But anyway, let's now take a look at our current conditions outside and what the outlook looks like. And as you saw in the beginning of this video, some very impressive cloud formations. Just very impressive, but that's due to the tropical nature of this air mass. And as you could see, we did have a pretty intense thunder shower. It looked like there was a flash flood warning out for that over Nassau County for that particular shower that you saw right here that has moved off the coast now. There's some more over here. Nothing severe, but these are generally like Florida-type thunderstorms where you just get a lot of rain in a short amount of time. And here is a wider view of the radar. You can see there was also a very intense shower over looks like over the water there that tried to come on shore, but then it kind of broke up when it moved onshore into central Suffolk. But there's this other shower, so nothing severe, just a lot of rain, like I said, in a short amount of time. That's the main thing that these storms are bringing to the area. Alright, so let's look at some observations across the area right now. And 73 at Farmingdale. Alright, you can see the dew point is up there. It was actually a little worse earlier, at least at Farmingdale. Islip, 73 with a dew point of 70. So mainly in the 70s across the island, where rain has fallen across much of Long Island. So we're mainly in the 70s, 71 with a dew point of 68. But if we go into the city, it's a little more humid. You can see the dew point is all the way up to 73 at Central Park with a temperature of 74. And yeah, you know what? I gotta play this for you, Toms River. Yes, it's much hotter in Toms River. Look at that. 88 degrees in Toms River right now. So 69 is the dew point. So we're going to look to see what the high was there today. And I bet you it was at least 90. And it was 90. Yep, it says 90 right there. Whoops. Let me move that over. So it says 90. Yeah, it says 90 right over here. So it did wind up hitting 90 degrees in Tom's River. You can see it also here too with dew points. Sultry, sultry dew points. So let's take a look at what's going on here and what we hit here today. Now today on Long Island, it didn't get all that hot. It was up to 77. We had a cloud cover most of the time. The sun peeked out a little bit. And it was extremely uncomfortably humid. 73 was the dew point. Actually, dew points got up to 73 at Farmingdale. Not surprising. Let's see what Islip hit. Probably similar high. Yeah, 76 degrees at Islip. And again, look at those dew points into the 70s. So the dew points did come down a little bit after it rained, but not very much. They will be going down tomorrow when we get to the forecast portion of this weather update. But 73-degree dew point, that's pretty uncomfortable. And I'll look at Central Park. Let's see what Central Park hit. Yeah, it was a little warmer there, 82 degrees. And look at these dew points again, 73-degree dew point. Very uncomfortable. Now, let's check out the Wonder Map so I can show you more of the dew points and temperatures across our area. But before we get there, actually, I want to show you Flagstaff, the observation. So it's 85, so it does get hot there. But look at the dew point, it's 22. And look at the humidity, 11%. So it's like the opposite extreme. It's very dry there. And they haven't had much rain, so there's an extreme fire danger there. It's very, very dry. So, I mean, the dew point was in the teens last night there. So it's like the complete opposite. Like I said, the west is getting drier and drier, and we're getting wetter and wetter. But take a look at this beautiful blue sky that they have over there. A nice blue sky that they have. That's the good thing about Flagstaff. The weather is beautiful, but it's a little too dry, actually. So they should be getting a monsoon season, so it should warm up. They should start getting some rain, hopefully. But it's been drier than it's even supposed to be there. Well, folks, I'm sorry to say, Wonderground yet again is not working. So we have no. I can't really give you the actual map of dew points. You got an idea. This is the GFS computer modeling of the dew points. You can see they're in the 70s all across the Northeast. You can see pretty much. Now what's going to happen is we're going to have sort of a dry front come through. So you'll see the dew points come down tomorrow and pretty much be in the mid-60s. All right, and maybe we'll even see some 50-degree, upper 50-degree dew points. So the humidity will come down tomorrow. And as we go into Saturday, you see it starts creeping back up again. And by Sunday, we're back in the really humid, muggy air. All right, so let's see what this has on the temperatures for us. And we'll go through all the temperatures here, shaded. So again, you'll see that it's going to be very hot tomorrow. You see, it's going to be in the low 90s everywhere, and there's going to be a west wind. So it's not going to be a sea breeze tomorrow, which is going to make it pretty brutal. We go into Saturday, same thing, 90s. We're going to have a first really, major heat wave of the summer. No record-breaking heat, but it's just going to be very persistent. Ooh, that looks bad. Look at Sunday. It has 102 and 104. These are rare temperatures. Oh, man, I hope it doesn't get that hot. That's the GFS. And look at that. Monday, it doesn't really start. Oh, Tuesday, there's no relief. Wednesday, no relief. The heat continues. This could be a really major stretch of hot weather for the entire of next week. Every day in the 90s, and there's even some hundreds in there. And let's see, any relief in sight at all on the GFS? Maybe by... there is no relief in sight. There is no relief in sight from this, folks. So get ready to sweat and sweat a lot, and make sure your air conditioner is in working order, because it's going to be brutal for a while. Not record-breaking heat, I don't think. Maybe the 100 is overdone on this model. But we're going to look at some other models now, like the NAM, and see how it's handling the heat over our area. So let's see how it's handling the heat over our area. So we go into Friday. It's a little more laid back on the heat, as you can see. Saturday is definitely going to be hotter, but there might be more of a sea breeze helping us out on Long Island. And then, yeah, there's still 100. I think Tom's River is going to get close to 100 degrees. You can see it's building that heat right over there. So it's going to be pretty bad. Let's take a look at what the dew points are predicted on this. Let's see how it does with the dew points. So we start with today again. We'll go back to today. You see dew points in the 70s. Very unusual for, to have humidity like this early in the summer. But like I said, things are getting more humid due to climate change. And then we go into Friday, and you see we do get some dry air. But see, look at these. You see where the wind is coming from? It's coming from the west. So there's not going to be much of a sea breeze. Now, as we go into Saturday, there's more of a southwest wind, so there might be more of a sea breeze. As we go into Sunday, looks like again more of a sea breeze. Oh, look at this! Look at what the NAM is trying to do. This definitely appears to be some sort of backdoor front that's trying to set up over here. Maybe that will rescue us from the heat. I don't know. That's what the NAM seems to think anyway. I'm just curious. Let's go to the actual temperatures again. Temperatures. Let's see if this backdoor front. Yep, there it is. It shows up on the air temperature still. So it's trying to bring a backdoor front through around Monday. Maybe it'll save us. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the nation and the air temperature. And you could say, just to show you the way the heat is really building, you can see the heat is really coming in. Much of the country is in the heat right now. All right. And as we continue, you'll see that heat pretty much is starting to work its way into our area. You can see pretty much that that's what's going on. So the heat is there. Look at those 100s going all the way up into. So yeah, this is another global warming summer, folks. You better hope some volcanoes. Let's get some more volcanoes erupting, because if they can block out the sun a little bit, that would help us a great deal. We need some divine intervention right now. And we'll look at the anomaly too. Might as well show you where it's above normal and where it's not. You could see here that again the heat is in the east, but in the west, that's where the trough sets up, so it's a little cooler over there. If we look at the GFS, you can look at the anomaly on this too, and you'll see the same type of thing. So we go into the GFS, you'll see the anomaly map. It's, most of the east is in the heat, and the west is in the cooler air, but there's more heat than cool, and that's the point of climate change, is that there's more heat on the map. However, it looks like as we get toward middle of July, maybe we'll start to see some relief and a pattern change. But like I said, July is going to kick off. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. It's not unusual for it to get hot in July, obviously. We'll go back to the actual temperatures and to show you the air temperatures across the country again. See similar pattern. The GFS does not have the backdoor front at all. So the NAM has a backdoor front, but the GFS does not have a backdoor front. But definitely some real heat going on here. And like I said, it doesn't really start getting better until we get toward the end of the period. And just to show you dew points also, there's not really going to be much dry air unless you want to go to Flagstaff or the west. Look at the dew points on the GFS. So yeah, here are the dew points, and as you can see, dew points are high in the east. You can see, look at these 70-degree dew points going almost to the Canadian border. But you see those low dew points right over here in the west around Flagstaff. That's going to probably continue, as we deal with high dew points. I mean, the dew points are probably not going to get below 60 for a while here. And some really high dew points. Again, the west has the dry air, and this is all because, as I said before, and you'll see the red. Well, I'll go to the regular graphic that I normally use at the end of this video. But again, the Atlantic is warmer than you get all this warm water over here, this tropical water, and that brings in the moisture and the humidity to the east. But it can't get into the west because you have a mountain range here, so it can never make it into the west. And as far as the Pacific goes, the Pacific is always cool off the west coast, so they don't get that kind of tropical air. So that's why the west coast is such a nice climate compared to the east. I mean, yeah, it's always been that way, I guess, but look at some of these dew points for the weekend. My God, it's going to be oppressive. In Chicago, this is going to be a pretty significant heat wave that we're going to be dealing with here, for sure. So my advice to you, stay inside if you can. I'm just going to go back to the regular one here so you can see before I wrap up this update, because it's gone on long enough. You'll see here that Friday, Oh, sorry, I'm going backwards. Alright, I must be tired. I'm sorry. Alright, so you can see the ridge there, and this ridge from hell is what's... The ridge of misery is making us bake, basically. While the west coast is in the dry. But too dry, because they're not getting any rain. They need some rain there in Flagstaff. So that's pretty much, and then you saw it to the end of the period. Maybe we get a break, and maybe we can get this high to come down from Canada and rescue us from the misery. Okay, the other thing I kind of want to show you is, and I'm going to put an article in this video too, is Saharan dust coming off Africa. It's actually blowing across the Caribbean, and it could make it as far west as Texas. I don't know if it's going to make, if we're going to see any effects from it, but it could make the sky a little hazier than normal, maybe make for some pretty sunsets. It's not unusual to see this, actually, the Saharan dust. It's part of the reason why it actually plays a big role in, let's see if I can see a little better in the previous satellite. Yeah, maybe a little better on this one. You can see the dust coming off Africa, the Sahara, and then making its way. This actually plays a very big role in the fertilization of places like Florida and the Caribbean, and even the reefs around the Bahamas actually plays a very important ecological role. So this is a totally normal thing to see the Saharan dust make its way west like that. That's actually part of what you call the trade winds flow from east to west in the tropics. But you can see here that what we are dealing with here, we're dealing with this warm sector that we were in today, and then we're going to get into this drier air here. But it's, like I said, it's going to be kind of like a dry front. It's going to actually be kind of hot, and then the humidity will come back up again. So that's going to be it for this weather update. I have something that I need to talk to you guys about. I'm going to talk to you about it on or around July 4th. As you know, in my last video, I have to make some changes for my own mental health, and I'm going to talk about that then. But as far as this video, stay cool. The heat is on. It is summer after all, I guess. So, you know, just if you don't like the heat, stay inside. If you like me. Tomorrow, like I said, won't be too bad. It won't be too humid. But when the humidity comes up, that's what really makes it unbearable. And if you got the money, go to Flagstaff. The weather's beautiful there. Take care.